So the racing week begins on Tuesday at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Looking forward to the 8-race program that we bring your way from the country course as we continue along with our spring campaign out at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. 8 races on the card, with the first getting underway at 20 to 1. Looking forward to welcoming you all there and saying hello as we lead up to the Kudo Matchroom Stakes at the end of the month. That's always a wonderful pointer going into the rest of the season. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe to our socials. Lots going on as always. We got some perfectly placed interviews with Eric Sands, with Brett Crawford, and with Anthony Andrews. So hopefully they can guide us in a certain direction on this card. And hopefully it all goes according to plan. Right, let's get straight into it with race number 1, the start of the bipod. And I think the first half of the card is pretty much like Saturday. Hopefully all lands, and then the second half of the card is probably where we can gain a bit of ground and make some money. We're going to kick off with number 4, Fencing Captain. Richard Fourie takes a ride for Pete Werter. Pete Werter's had a very good couple of months. Obviously his horses were fit while everyone else was just taking evasive action from the rain. Fencing Captain put up a lovely run last time out. That was at the end of August in a work riders race when finishing second behind Dawn Till Dusk. Yes, Dawn Till Dusk ran the finish out of Fencing Captain, but I think with Richard Fourie on board, there's plenty in this horse's favour. It looks to be quite a shallow race, but for the first timers who we don't know about, Brett Crawford's comments are that Military Messenger will need further, will probably need the run under the belt. 3 Cork Bay is very interesting. Corne Orford takes the ride for Platinum Racing. Andre Nel says has had a gallop and should run well, but of the exposed form and of what we see, number 4 Fencing Captain is definitely the one that stands out most, and he should take a power of beating if none of the first timers are rated all that highly. So that's how I see the first leg of the bipod at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. We then move on to race number 2 on the card, the start of the place accumulator, and I have got a place accumulator for you. It's the renewal. Have you renewed your Cape Turf Club membership open maiden over 1,250 metres? And here number 6, Mystic Majesty, son of Canford Cliffs, looks to have a good opportunity to get out the maidens. I like the steady progress. I like the fact that he's run with some very nice horses. It doesn't look like there's anything of the calibre of Please Be True, Sail the Seas, or 8 on 18 in this race. All those form lines have worked out nicely. The second horse in the Please Be True run, of course, came out and one that was Empire State. I think the third horse, King's Quest, will win races, and even horses that were behind Mystic Majesty showed good improvement, the likes of 006. So I think that all stacks up well for John Finlayson's colours to salute here in the Western Cape, having a good run all over the country. Eric Sands, the trainer, and as I said, his comments will be freely available on this YouTube channel. Of the first timers, again, number 5, You With Me, Platinum Racing, Corne Orford, Andre Null says has had a gallop, should run well. The son of Master of My Faith out of a Lizard Island mare. There's probably a hint of stamina in that pedigree. And then also number 9, Honor of Kings, very interesting indeed. Well-bred son of Vercingetorix, Justin Snaith, Grant Van Niekerk team up in the colours of Nancy Hossack in partnership with Bjorn Nielsen. Nice type, has not galloped though, but each way chance. So that's a horse worth watching, and the market clues will be quite revealing when it comes to race number 2. But my place accumulator reads 3 bankers by a few horses of the last 4 legs. Banker 6 by Banker 3. By Banker 4, that does expose the next few legs of this preview, by 5 and 8, by 5, 7 and 8, by 3 and 8, by 2, 3, 7 and 8. Not a very expensive perm. Hopefully that'll serve you well, and towards the end of the card we can double up a couple of times just to give us a little bit more bang for our buck. Race number 3, first leg of the pick 6. This is the Join the Tradition, www.capeturfclub.co.za open maiden for fillies and mares, again 12.50. Race runs at 10 to 2, so that's when your pick 6s need to be on by. And here number 3, I'm So Pretty, just simply stands out. Richard Fourie, could he possibly ride a treble to kick off proceedings? That's the way I see it. I'm So Pretty's first run I thought was a little bit backwards, but always had scope to improve for this daughter of Vercingetorix, and that is exactly what she's done. Second time up, much better run to Maritzburg Memory. Still looked weak and a little bit behind, a little bit sort of underdeveloped. That might be the wrong way of looking at it, but still looked to be a horse that would only come into her own. And then second to Scarlett McCaw last time, where she pushed the winner all the way down to the wire. Scarlett McCaw was not winning out of turn, and I think there's a lot to like. That run is obviously the one that makes the most appeal in this race. Again, pretty shallow, maybe number 8, Bright Gold, looks to be improving and coming along the right way. She might have something to say. And as for the first timers, again, the comments from Andre Null with number 6, Berry's Boogie, has had a gallop and should run well. So there is a bit of confidence coming out of the camp. Number 9, Tennille, will need further each way chance. Tap Shoe is very interesting. This is a sister to the very well performed Shoemaker. Could sneak into minor money. So it looks like Snaith is leaning towards the experience and obviously the development and the continued progress of number 3, I'm So Pretty, as the one to beat in race number 3. So why should we doubt that? Let's go with number 3, I'm So Pretty, in the first leg of the pick 6, a potential banker, because if she doesn't win, she should be the first raced runner home. So use that to your advantage in your pick 6s. Then we go into race number 4, the starter jackpot. Number 1, perfectly placed, maiden plate for fillies and mares. They go 1,400 meters. There's a little bit more form to work with in this race, and as you would have seen from my place accumulator earlier on, I do like number 4, Tuscan Romance, as the horse to beat. Does come off a break, hasn't been seen since late March, but we know that Brett Crawford brings them on gradually, so I think the time would have done her a world of good. Brett's comments on perfectly placed are obviously pleasing. To Miss World last time out, Miss World is very highly regarded by Greg Inion and connections as well. So I think number 4, Tuscan Romance, should be set up to at least run a good race. And I think we can trust the numbers and the form that she brings into the picture. But it's certainly not a one-horse race as far as unsettling in the number 1 box is concerned, because I do like the look of number 5, Golden Angel. I thought she put up a lovely debut when she was ridden with evasive action. She came out a bit softly, but she made up a lot of ground behind My Sensation. She was one of the better finishers in the race. Craig Zaki retains her out for Glenn Cotson. The extra 150 meters will serve her well. The mother was well performed, was Elusive Heart. So there are a few clues there that number 5, Golden Angel, will improve. Number 6, Champagne Kisses, also looks like she's coming along the right way. Richard Ferry takes her out. I do have a query about her over this trip. There are a lot of sprinters and a lot of speed from this family, but she runs like she'll get the trip. So let's see whether she'll get it. I think she's the less persuasive of the 3 with form, but I wouldn't write off her chances by any stretch of the imagination. And then again, the first time is number 7, Special Glamour, has had a gallop, should run well. That's copy and paste from Andre Null. And then number 8, Strictly Private. I know the family quite well. There's a lot of stamina in the family, so no surprise to see her making her debut over 1,400 meters. Nice type by looking for further. What Justin Snaith has to say about her. Wouldn't surprise me to see her run on and get into the money. But my play here is going to be box swingers, numbers 4 and 5, Tuscan Romance and Golden Angel. Then we go into race number 5, Race K, powered by Hollywoodbets, class 5 over 1,400 meters. This is where things get a little bit trickier, and there's a lot of form out of the Cloud Chaser run on the 3rd of August that gives probably the direction here when it comes to the first leg of the 2nd jackpot. Now, number 8, Spirits Unite, that's going to be my top choice. Richard Ferry takes the ride for Pete. Dane is drawn 8 out of 8, but if he was drawn 8 out of 14, would you be so worried? Probably not. He does have a tendency of losing ground at the start, hence he's not got more wins and not more decorated than what he is. But simply on the pure numbers and on the collateral form of the rerun that we've just had a look at, Spirits Unite behind Cloud Chaser finished in front of Augusta Blue, Champagne Mac, Like the Clappers, Gold Index and Unsolved Riddle. That's 6 of the 8 runners out of 1 form line that Spirits Unite has the measure of. I think that's too good to ignore, and I think that Spirits Unite's going to get his day in the sun. Even if he does lose a length at the start, he should be able to make up that ground, and I think that he's probably found the right opening spot to get that next win under the belt. Of the others, well, I've suggested a box trifecta with a few runners here. 3, Champagne Mac shouldn't beat number 8, Spirits Unite, but with that said, the rating drop I think makes him a little bit more appealing. I think he represents a little bit of place value, and then 5, Gold Index, just inconsistent, but on the last run doesn't have a say, but on form prior to that has a big say. And number 6, Augusta Blue, I just got an inkling that he's going to bounce back to some sort of form as well. So box trifectas with the 4 horses, and hopefully we can get out of it in race number 5 and get a few strides ahead in our play on the day. We then go on to race number 6, Cape Turf Club Syndicates Class 3. They go 1,600 meters. This is probably the most interesting race on the card. I like number 5, Infrared, and I like Infrared quite a lot. Last run was his first run as a gelding, put up a lovely performance behind L.A. Maurice, a stable companion. He was entitled to lead the run after 6 months off. Louis Otwin now takes a ride for Brett Crawford, and I think the son of Twice Over is totally underappreciated by the handicapper. On that run, finished in front of Future Turn and Fibonacci. I think 2 horses that have a say in this race. But what I like about Infrared is the 3-year-old form. I think that is just the angle to take here in race number 6, because if you have a look at his run in the Gold Rush, ran 5th to Rapidash. He was making a little bit of ground over the closing stages, but it's his penultimate start in the Splash Out Cape Derby, where he finished 5 lengths to green with envy. Just 2 lengths in front of him was Hollywoodbets Durbanville winner Oriental Charm. And yes, we know Oriental Charm spent 6 months in the pink of health, at the peak of his powers, absolutely loved spending time in Joburg, being prepared by Brett Crawford, travelling down to the coast, and loved Hollywoodbets Gravel, culminating in a huge cherry on the cake when winning the Hollywoodbets Durbanville. But Infrared got close enough to Oriental Charm to suggest that he is just under the radar when it comes to the numbers and the handicapping and the rating. So I think that number 5 Infrared stands out for me. I love his first run after a break, and I think that he'll win race number 6 on the card. Very interesting horse here is number 8 Holding Thumbs. I've always said it, I think he's got better days ahead of him. He's striding in the right direction. His last one was commanding over Dust Good. That was his career best. The handicapper has, as a result, got stuck into him, but he's probably still under the radar from the handicapper's perspective. So I'm interested to see how close number 8 Holding Thumbs gets to number 5 Infrared. What is interesting is that there was always a school of thought that Holding Thumbs would be headed for races like the Splash Out Cape Derby. Didn't go there, took the low road, and now we're seeing the fruits of that type of labor. Interesting race, going with Infrared though to win, but I have a lot of respect for number 8 Holding Thumbs, and even number 7 the Consistent Future Turn, not one to totally ignore. Race 7, the penultimate on the card. It's the Normandy Racing Syndicate Class 4 for fillies and mares over 1250. Polynomial, number 3 on the card, is a horse that I think is coming along the right way. I like how she finished off her last start behind Artiste. Had she been probably a little bit more wise to it, she might have finished a lot closer. But I'm going to go with the experience of number 8, Great Cat. Louis Mqotwa up for Brett Crawford. Brett looks to have a very good card on this Tuesday. The second to Gimme That Pearl was pleasing, coming back from a layoff. She was scratched the penultimate time she was carded to run due to an elevated TCO2. It's not going to be the easiest of draws. Like I said, 8 out of 8 is not a train smash over 1400 meters rather at Hollywoodbets Durbanville, but with 150 meters less until that first turn, it is a little bit more of an issue. But I think she's strong enough, she's wise enough, she's bulky enough to be able to bully herself into the race. And just with that experience and the confidence coming out of the yard, I think number 8 Great Cat is the one that we can focus on. So what I'm going to do in race number 7 is box swingers 3 and 8, Polynomial and number 8 Great Cat. I think Polynomial will be in the first 3, and I think Great Cat's just the most solid option when it comes to the penultimate race on the card. 8th and last, Hollywoodbets Bright Future Cape D Stakes for fillies and mares over 1250. This is wide open. There are a lot in here with chances. It's not a race to get too excited about, hence I went 4 horses in my place accumulator, which I structured at the start. So this really is a matter of survival. Let's have a look at the run on the 23rd of August, which I think is probably the right piece of form. It's that of number 7 True Horizon, when finishing behind Yolaka Ding. Grant van Niekerk takes it out for Adam Marcus. Hope Grant is better after being medically indisposed on Saturday's card. I think True Horizon just comes in here generously weighted off a 54.5. As we have seen of races of this nature and of this caliber, that horses that perhaps might not have the best form but have generous weights tend to come good in races like this, and I think True Horizon just might be the right one to go with in the 8th and final race here at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. No open and shut case though, because what I've done is I've taken a quartet double floating 2 and 7, so the consistent number 2 Jet Green under JP van der Merwe for Lunga Gila with 56 kilos on her back, having run second to Yolaka Ding last time. I think that's probably good enough to suggest that she will be in the first 4, although wins just don't come easy for number 2 Jet Green, and then as mentioned number 7 True Horizon, the second half of that double floating quartet. And I've gone with that by the field, and a few horses that I think have winning chances here include number 3 Hang Out the Stars, 8 United We Stand, and I also wouldn't write off the chances completely of number 6 Gondolo on the Molar. Horribly out of sight in his 3 starts to date, and her 3 starts to date, but Sean Field takes her out of a very lightweight. Not impossible that she runs her career best and gets her into the top 4, but that is not a race that you want to be breaking the bank on. Like I said, it's a matter of survival when it comes to the 8th and last at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Always a pleasure. Looking forward to welcoming you out on the Tuesday at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Should be a lovely card, should be a lovely day. The weather is set fair. I think it's set fair now for the next few months here in the Cape, so hopefully it serves you well and we can find a few winners on this midweek card.